selling uniforms. That's not what we're doing at all. What we're doing is we're trying to show you guys, basically different ways to deal with the thing that we just talked about, and that is the financial struggle of organizations. Okay, so this is a uniform that we have. You guys probably have better jerseys. That don't matter. This part don't matter. So this is the jersey that we have. We have 2 jerseys, a pants, and a bag that we provide for our kids. We charge $150 for our kids to play football. That basically covers this, And so with that, at least we're not out the expenses of that. So we do a fundraiser for those. So like literally this Saturday, I'll go pick up those 14 kids and I will take them door to door, and we will sell raffle tickets. We just put a little trip together to like Branson. And the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to pay for the trip until the raffle. So you literally have something you can sell. You go out, you get that done, and then now your kids can afford to play because they can go to the door. Hey, guess what that's going to do? Put a flyer in their hand. Guess what? You just sold 1,000 tickets at $10 a piece. That's 10 grand that you now have to work with, and you just put 1,000 flyers in people's hands that didn't know about you. Right? Makes sense. So with this, I'm going to show you something here. So this is a company that we use. It's called Team Rebel. So you guys may know a little bit about them, so you may not. They actually have the capability of going in and setting you up a website. And let's see here. Okay, so here's the one that they're working on for me and us. So we basically will go to. Okay, so here's some different things that they put together, right? Just some jerseys. You got jackets. Okay, you got all this stuff here, right? This didn't cost me anything for them to set it up, and it will never cost me anything to set it up. I'll go in, I'll post this on my website. Every time that my parents buy these are for parents that are custom to their kids. Every time that my parent buys something, my organization will get 15% of the sales. So it doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to provide t-shirts anymore. I don't have to provide extra jerseys. I don't have to provide backpacks. I don't have to provide anything. It's all right here. They pay for it. We get a percentage for our organization. So, it's easier. It makes sense. Before we went out and had, t-shirts made, and then it's like, you got my t-shirt? Okay, my t-shirt's here. And then 5 minutes later, you got somebody else calling, and you got to run one over here. And you literally have zero profit on that t-shirt because you said it's $24 and it cost you $24, and you just spent $40 running these t-shirts around, So, and that's another thing. So those are some things that we do so we can find financial stability. If you guys are a 3105C, I don't know if you are or not. If you're a nonprofit, there's a lot of things that you can do as a nonprofit as well. We stand outside of Casey's, and we literally, we get about 2 or 3 kids, and they just basically ask for donations. Casey's is really good about it. If you have Walmart's are the same way. If you've got 3105C, you can do it. If you don't, let me know. I can get you a paper that they'll let you in. So, and then, at a Walmart, from 8 to 12, we can make $1 grand, in a weekend. So, they're not going to let you do it every weekend, but you can do it a couple times a year. So it's, it's easy money. And then you turn around and we deal with our best ballpark, and we sell tickets once a year, or actually twice a year, for spring and for fall. And they're like $8 a ticket, and literally they give us $4 for every ticket that we sell over a certain amount of money. And they bring all of our kids, they put them on the field, they do a little thing, and we watch a baseball game, and they let us do a little live radio, things like that. The community's out there, and the community will help you. It's just, you gotta be willing to get in there and figure out what works, And, so that's another way to basically get your name out there. And, we pick up a lot of our kids because we go to these cases, and people are like, they haven't heard about us. We're a new league, so they're like, well, what do you got? Some of the best players picked up from it because of the fundraising, So don't be afraid to do that. It's obvious you guys are willing to put the work in. I can see that just what you guys have. So let's see here.
And along that same lines too, that's also how we manage to buy brand new equipment. go out and get 30 helmets because of all these fundraisers. So then your kids aren't trying to buy this equipment. You're not totally out the cost of this equipment, or you're not using old, outdated equipment. You're doing fundraisers, getting the money from the community, and then you're able to reinvest it into the kids so that they've got the best equipment.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, unfortunately, like for us, you can offer good football and that's great, but at the end of the day, it's swagger. You know, everything's swagger. Kids want to look good. They, you know, if you got the best uniform, they're going to play for you. You got the, I mean, you know, that's what I told her when we started this league. I said, you know, I don't care if teams play within our league. We're going to make these other leagues raise the bar. They're going to have to do more for the kids if they're going to keep them. You know, so now, like, we go out and get the kids new Zenith helmets from these fundraisers and stuff. So now you got schools that are buying new Zenith helmets to try to match what we're doing, or, you know, we're customizing jerseys. So now they got to customize jerseys, and they've always just used old Mets jerseys. You know, so you raise the bar, and it's like, you know, we're over here like we're winning because the kids are winning. You know,
Right.
So and that's kind of where we're at with that. But so to break down the way the season will work. So that was just a few things. And guys, if you have any questions or, you know, will you grab one of the, I think they're in here, will you grab one of those tickets out of there? I'll kind of show you our fundraiser ticket so you guys can see. Get it right there. So I got these printed for, I mean, you can take a look at it if you want to. There. This is, what we're giving away is, you know, we're giving away a season ticket for 4 to Whitewater and Branson and $300 cash. It's about $800-900 value. Kids will go door to door. They're $10. They're $10 a ticket to get the raffle, and I mean literally, like, I paid $90-something for this. This should raise about 10 grand, you know. And after, you know, so I mean, our kids won't have to worry about the cost of being a program, you know. And so you eliminate that, and then the parents are, you know, they're a little bit more likely to get them, you know, involved because they know that.
Doing a couple nights in Branson. That's what's up.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and the thing is too, like,
4 season pass.
these are
for 4.
season, yeah, these are
Which next
season
year
passes.
You could do Six Flags.
Yeah,
instead.
Six Flags, yeah.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's simple. It's quick. It's different. You know, put your logo on it, whatever. That way they know. You know, so. And then I'm sure Ray will come back later and put his logo on it. Right?
It's his logo. It is logo now.
Yeah.
Dude, just kill. I had to go off on him today. Like, man, I'm the only one be taking up for you, man. You steady keep on doing stuff, try to make me upset, bro. You see all in my best friend inbox flirting. He's still in inbox. He ain't gonna get in there. I like how the way you carry yourself. Like, how do you get me in my partner's inbox? How you know how she carry herself? Like, this dude crazy, man.
So, like I said, a lot of you guys are on Facebook, so you guys have went through the coaching stuff, so you kind of get an understanding of what we're going to do. So, I mean, the biggest reason we're here today is we're trying to figure out what the need is here. You know, is there a need for a league here in St. Louis that we can get by springtime? You know, and if there's not, is there a need for you guys to want to travel a little bit and us travel a little bit and let's make this work, you know? And that's what we have to figure out. Is it worth the cost of traveling for you guys to be involved? Are you going to have the parents behind you? Are you going to have, you know, are your players going to want to do that? Are you going to have enough players, you know?
We're gonna have the numbers. I know we'll have the numbers. I can't say we're gonna have a parents participation, but we're gonna be able to do it. When you look at this man, he willing to do it. Yeah. St. Louis is it's the type of city to where they gotta see it first and then they try to jump on board.
Right.
So like a lot of them wanna do it, but they just talking right now. So once they get the start rolling and they see it, then they gonna jump on board.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, guys. And the more that people get on board, the better your program is, because you're only as good as your competition, and you'll only always be as good as your competition. So, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, people are gonna, you know, that's why if you notice, I named the season the Resistance. You know, because a lot of people are saying, oh man, we don't play, you know, we play baseball in spring, or you do this, or you do that. You know what I mean? Like for us, like we want to play football, man. That's what we want to do. You guys obviously want to play football too. So, you know, we don't need 400 teams, man. We just need enough to have a good, successful season. We have that, you know. So, you know, I mean, now it's just locking everything down, seeing what teams are available here, seeing what we need to do. I mean, you know, we're all in, you guys are all in, we're gonna make it work, you know. If I gotta take my team from Fayetteville up here to play, I'll do that. I know.
We'll travel. We don't have no problem with travel.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, so the way that'll work is if for some reason we do get enough St. Louis teams, you know, around the area, you basically you're gonna be able to do what you wanna do.
So so you haven't talked to no other organizations?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah,
They just didn't show up tonight?
Well, I've talked to Daryl, he came up here, Daryl Green.
Okay.
And, you know, Daryl, I think he left or whatever, but he says he's got the kids. I told Daryl that if he's got the kids, that I'm willing to help him with equipment. You know, I got some Chiefs jerseys, like there or something that I've got like 20 that he could put a team together. You know what I mean? So I've got a bunch of units that we bought. Yeah. You know, so I mean, and we got, and I told him, I said the helmets will be older, but you know, you can use them. You know, it's something to get them started. You know, I mean,
That's what we need. We in the process of buying more helmets because we lost a lot of helmets this year.
yeah, we have literally, we just bought 80, and we probably got maybe 30 of them back. I mean, but most of the kids are going to come back this year too, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is frustrating, you know. But at the same time, they did the fundraiser, so you can't really get too mad. It's like, what you mean, coach? I can't keep my helmet. I'm asking all this money, you know.
I pay for everything. I'm on pay, so it's like it's different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like it's different.
We did the first year, and then we've learned slowly how
Yeah,
to.
that's why it's gonna be different this year because I ain't gonna spend money like that.
No,
We gonna send somebody somewhere.
that's what's been hard for us too, is like literally getting to a point where we just say no. We're like, no, we're not doing it. Like, you know, I mean, we're just not, you know, we're not gonna keep spending all this money and like putting our family in a situation where we're sitting here like, we're a little short, like, what are we supposed to do? And then, you know, it's just, like, we can't do that, you know. You can't do that. You can't do it for long. Not if you're gonna be around. You know, broke programs is a no program. I mean, every time. So, you know, that's why I said, I mean, our biggest thing is to come in there and help you guys learn, like, or not, and maybe you're great at it. Maybe you guys got $100,000 in the bank. I don't know. That's not the business. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, there are ways that we can work together to get costs down. You know, I mean, that's easy. You know, you bulk order anything is cheaper. You know, you need new helmets. I need new helmets. Let's make our order together. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. You know, we can get them from Riddell, brand new Riddell helmets that are going to be a pretty quality helmet for $70-something. You know what I mean? So, and that's brand new. So, you know, do some fundraisers and let's do that. You know, I mean, you start getting bigger numbers, you start getting less prices. You know, I mean, and the thing is, if everybody in the league would work together, I mean, now you're talking about 3,000-4,000 helmets.
Right.
You know,
How often do you do your raffle a year?
Actually, this is the first time we did it. My buddy just did one last year, and he made, I think he said, once he paid everything out, he made $8,900. You know, so he went out and bought helmets and everything. That's what he told his parents. He said, look, like, you're going to sell 30 tickets. Like, that's what you're going to have to do to play for me. You know, so they would go door to door, or some of the parents would just buy 30 tickets, you know, but that's kind of what he did, you know, but if you've got jerseys and you've got helmets and you've got those things already for those kids, and then, I mean, literally, you put something like that together, you can make, you know, 10 grand for your organization. I mean, it's not even for covering cost, and you know.
Super Bowl uniforms, regional uniforms,
anything you want. I mean, and it's not hard, and you know, it's just getting them to do it. I mean,
And along with that, though, sorry to interrupt, but like you were talking about taking them to Chiefs games or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you do some type of fundraiser like that, you can do a lot more of the fun things that are just an added bonus that the kids are just going to absolutely love, and they probably wouldn't get an opportunity to go to something like that otherwise.
And believe it or not, up here, they actually give more to the organizations like us. You know what I'm saying? As long as we able to do the small things and selling the tickets and things like that. Like they doing the $5 game at Busch Stadium. You know, they'll give us a certain amount of tickets that we can, you know what I'm saying, put out there together. And like he said, if we come together as a league, you know, we can.
yeah. And I think that's the biggest problem, man, is we get so caught up in us. You know, I mean, we get so caught up in, am I a better coach than you? You know, I mean, you see it in every organization, every league, and then you have teams leave because of that conflict, you know, and then it's, you know, it doesn't make you better. I mean,
Right.
there's sitting at home right now is some kid that needs you. He needs you. I mean, it's that simple. You know, he needs you to be a part of his life. He needs that father figure in his life, and you know, the difference is his future is in your hands. You know, and the thing is, the favorite kid that you're gonna fall in love with, you need to date yet. You know what I mean? Because we all have that kid. You know, like, you know, it's that I don't coach to win football games, you know, but I love winning football games. You know, I coach for that moment when you're in the huddle and those kids look to you for an answer, and you know, you see it in the eye, and one of them rises. You know, I mean, you know. And then that's what you look for, you know, and it's like, I mean, I remember like Javen, my big boy, you know, I'm literally like, you know, like we have to win this game to go to the championship game. And, you know, Ethan's my go-to. Like Ethan always, you know, little Marshall Lee kid, man, but I'm telling you, man, it's like, I don't know how he does it, but he always finds the end zone. When I tell him, you know, don't ever talk, don't ever say nothing, I say, I need you to score. Gotcha. You know, and that's how he is. He does, man, you know. And so I'm sitting there and, you know, Ethan breaks this long run and gets down to like the 2-yard line. And, you know, we got one play. That's it. That's the last play of the game. We got one play. And I'm sitting in the huddle and, man, I don't know what to call. You know, I don't know what to do. And they see that on me, but they're like looking at me like, what are we going to do? You know, and I'm like, we're going to go to Ethan. You know, and Javen, you know, Ethan's over there getting ready to do his, you know, well, yes. And, you know, and Javen's just like, Coach, got you. Like, he's like, you give me the ball, I will score. I got you. And he don't do that every time, you know what I mean? But he sees that you're in need, you know, and it's like, and I just look at him and, you know, part of my friends go like, get your ass to the end zone, you know, and he does, and he scores, and it's like, you know, and there's so many times where, you know, we've been in a tournament and it's the same situation, you look at that and the leader emerges and he says, Coach, I got you, you know, and I'm like, you got me, I got you, you know, and you guys have all been in those moments too, and that's why we coach, you know. And it's good, man. I mean, it's great.
How many leads you got down there in Kansas City?
We're from Fayetteville.
Oh,
are you just asking what's in Kansas City? So in Fayetteville, like we've got about 11 teams, like organizations, you know. So it's growing. Now last spring we had 3.
Arkansas?
3 or 4, yeah, right. You know, Kansas City is kind of one of those things where they're talking a lot, but there's not a lot of action. You know, you're like, all right, man, let's meet up. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my team, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna make you a flyer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And I'm like, all right, have you got the kids? Well, I'm kind of keeping it a secret right now, Coach. And I'm like, what you mean you keeping it a secret? You know, he's like, well, man,
He
you
probably
know.
can't do it for real.
No, yeah.
It's a lot of these organizations. They be in rec leagues and stuff like that. It's where they can't move the way they like. We independent, so it's like we pretty much call our own shots. So it's like certain teams can't do that. When you with the rec, you can't be limited. So a lot of these guys want to do it, but they really can't do it. So we don't
Well,
have a lot of people like that.
No, and that's the thing too, man. Like that's the one thing that we are is like we are a league for independent traveling teams. Like, you know, and it's basically it gives you an opportunity to play within your league at home. So you don't have to go to like 5 states over. You can play the other independents in your league, and it's all organized through one system. You know, I mean, we're, you know, right now we just set up our City Link, which is going to be our page that we go on and do our live games and stuff like that, break down the season and stuff like that. So the tournament that we host in, it's most likely going to be in Fort Smith on the 8th or whatever. Like all that'll be live for your parents and stuff like that for you guys to go back and watch as well. Obviously, you guys have some media too, so I mean. You know, so that may not be as big of a deal for you guys, but you know, some of these coaches just don't have parents that will record games, so you know, they're never gonna watch those games. I mean,
Right.
You know, and like it's hard because like I have a son that plays, and I don't get to enjoy my son playing football because I coach football. I don't coach my son. It's like, you know, I put the kids first. Sometimes my son's sitting on the bench, and that's just the way it is, and it can continue to happen. You know, and you know, when he does score, like I don't get to jump up and down and celebrate and go crazy and be a parent. You know, she's out there in the videos and she's losing her mind. And I mean, it's like, you're gonna get arrested, you screaming too loud, you know, like people gonna think you hurt or something, you know, but you know, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't get that moment, you know, so for me, that video time is all I got, you know, and then it's like, I'll literally slow it down. I'll like, watch this. And
Well, I was gonna say, and then his poor thing, he gets the video and he's seeing gabbing, running down to score, and then it starts going
Right.
like this where I'm jumping up and down.
Yeah, so I mean, it's, you know, it's good to actually have somebody that's recording, that's professional, that's, you know, that's going to go out there and announce the games and things like that. And, you know, I mean, we're going to make it a good time for the kids. I mean, you know, that's what we're going to do. I mean, we're looking at getting, you know, those little T-Rex things or whatever, you know, we're going to probably get about 6 of those to run around the whole weekend and, you know, interact with the kids during halftime and stuff like that. You know, some of the other kids, let some of the other kids go out there and play. I seen that on a video. They were doing that down in Dallas at Texas Stadium, so I thought that was real cool. I was like, that's a good idea. I looked it up. Those things are like $40 a piece. I was like, oh, that's easy, you know. So, you know, just something like that that'll make it fun for the kids. You know, you guys see the rings and stuff that we're trying to provide, and the stuff for you guys as coaches, you know, as well. And you know, we just want something that you guys can be proud of. But at the same time, like we don't want to run a league. We want to coach football like I'm a coach. That's what I want to do. Like my passion is coaching. My focus is not running a league, but somebody's got to run this league, and it's got to be us. It's got to be all of us. You know what I mean? It's got to be. We got to be open-minded to working with your problems. You know what I mean? It's like, hey coach, this happened this weekend. Like, you know, we need to fix this. Can we fix this? You know, is this, you know, is this the best option? Is this the best option? You know, we just take it to vote and then like let the people decide. You know, they ain't my vote. It's all you know. Sorry, I know I'm kind of getting off track, but so basically what we'll do is you have to have 6 qualifying games to basically go to the state tournament. So I don't care if you get those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't care if you come down to Fayetteville and play 4 games in a weekend. You have to have 6 qualifying games that we record into your system and say this is a qualifying game. I don't care if you play 200 games in the spring season. You don't only play, you do what you want to do. But I need 6 qualifying games to put you into a state tournament. If you go play a game and you get beat, you can't say, well, that's not going to be our game. You got to log that game. You got to let me know the game. We're going to have a schedule. You know, that schedule is like, we'll say this is the game. As soon as you get your 6 games, we're good. Playoffs will be by seeding. You'll play other teams from Missouri, whether we get Kansas City teams or not, I don't know. We got a couple from Springfield, a couple from like Waynesville or whatever.
Okay, how many Missouri teams do you have so far? Like you said, a couple from Springfield.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably about, I would say realistically, about 6 to 8 organizations.
But y'all ain't too far. But y'all 4 or 5 hours away.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, and that's the good thing. So we have other states that literally only have 1 organization. So what would happen in that case? Like we do a 4-state minimum, like a 4-team minimum. Okay, so if you can get 4 teams per age group, what you'll do is you'll fall into the next state. So when Missouri has their state playoff, you may have a team from like Louisville come in, you know, and they'll because that's the closest or whatever, right? And so they just fall into that group, and so it's not a big deal, you know. So if they win, then they represent Louisville, not Missouri, you know. But they have to get through Missouri to get to Louisville.
So, say for instance, like, we might have problems with getting us A-grade teams here. So, like the other teams go out Missouri, we can go and go play them. Like, can we set that up to play them?
Yeah.
All right, that is perfect. We can come down to Fayetteville too, and like some games down there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, guys. I mean, it's just, you know, like I said, I mean, we can do 2 in a weekend. I mean, we can do more than that. We do whatever we need to do. But, you know, my thing is, like, you literally don't even have to play 6 straight weeks. You can say, we're going to play this every other week. You tell your parents, hey, look, guys, we're going to travel, but it's going to be every other week. We're going to play 2 games and we're done. You know what I mean? You guys can do your conditioning, whatever. Take the opportunity to do fundraising. Take the opportunity to get out there and recruit while nobody else has got teams. I mean, you know, hey, they're in your inbox.
So would that carry up into May? Every other week, play a game every other week. That's if you traveling like that.
That's if you're traveling, yeah. I mean, I want to play every weekend. I know y'all want to play every weekend too. You know,
but I was saying, as far as traveling, that'd be cool too if you're doing it every other weekend. As far as
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, let's just say hypothetically that you can find scrimmages here or whatever just to keep yourself going every week or whatever, you know, or you guys break your team up, or you can play your 11 versus somebody's 12 and do better, you know, or whatever. And you can literally not have to count those as qualifying games, but you can come in and say, hey, look, we're going to go down to Fayetteville, but we're going to play the Springdale Bulldogs and the Fayetteville Bulldogs to get our qualifying games. I got every age group, so we're good. You know, so you know, Springdale will too. So, you know, you basically can come down there and get 2 games. Now, okay, that's 1 week, take the next week off, now we can come up here. So you're only traveling twice in the season, you know what I mean? So it's not like you have to travel every weekend. You you know, so I mean, it's really not that bad, you know, but.
And when is the first official game kickoff?
So the first official tournament is gonna be the preseason tournament, which will be, I think we originally had it set for March 31st. Didn't realize it was Easter till my last meeting, so we had to push that back a week. We're gonna move it up a week, but it was spring break. So we can't do it during spring break, but we'll all be short numbers. So that week will, I believe it's April the 7th or 8th. Okay, so it'll be that weekend. That's optional. You don't have to go to that. If you guys decide to come down, that's it. The following weekend we'll roll. You know,
We'll be there.
yeah, that's, you know, it's gonna be good, guys. I mean, there's gonna be plenty of meetings down there. And it's gonna be a good time.
It's like a 6-hour drive.
Not really. It's about three.
Well, if it's in Fort Smith, he's right, it's been about 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know, but we've got, you know, and I know, like, we're looking at Southside down there, which is, you know, it's a really nice high school. I think it's 7A school, so it's plenty of, it's real nice. We love going down
That's
there.
a big school,
Yeah,
7A.
yeah, it's 7A, it's got turf field, and then there's another field that's like a Christian school, it's a grass field, it's nice, you know, so we can play off of those two. And, you know, we'll try to make sure that everybody gets this play on the turf field and the grass field, you know, so, or at least do our best, you know, so. But other than that, you know, if you win your state, then you would go into a conference playoff with the 14 or the 4 states that I said. So if you end up winning state, you basically would qualify to go to nationals. Nationals is going to rotate every single year. So the first year is going to be in Georgia, which sucks for us because it's like a long ways away. It sucks for you guys too because it's like 8 hours away from where you guys are going to be. You know, but at the same time, like it's going to suck for them the next 3 years. You know, so I'm good with that. So I mean that's really kind of what we got going on. So if we can, you know, that'll be a big event. You know, and if you guys. So we are actually thinking about something else, and you know, something that you know we're going to get your guys' opinion on before we make the final decision. But we're looking at everybody's not going to nationals, right? So many times you have everybody ending their season on a loss except for one team, right? So what we're looking at doing is to build the programs up to give you guys something to build off of is doing a bowl game. So even if you don't go to nationals, we can still host a bowl game. So like by that time, we'll know who's who, and we'll say, hey, you're the number 2 seed, they're the number 2 seed, Kansas City, whatever. Are y'all willing to meet in Joplin for a bowl game? You know, we'll have a custom trophy for that bowl, you know, made for the coach or whatever. It'll probably be up to you guys just because of the budget and stuff like that to get a rings or whatever you want, you know, for your kids if they do win the bowl.
You got teams down, got some teams coming from down to like Joplin, Quackers, Missouri, Webb City.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, if we can just find, you know, if we can find neutral sites, you know, or whatever. So, you know, I think it would be cool to end your season with a bowl win if you're a 2 seed, you know. I mean, if you can't go to nationals, I mean, you were planning on playing up to that week anyway. I mean, we're all planning on going to nationals, so we're all planning on playing until basically the end of May.
So you'll be planning it anyway.
Right. So I mean, yeah, hey, I promise you, going this.
When I show me games, Keith. When show me games.
I don't know what shopping games we still have. It was private games July.
You know, but the same thing, guys, man. If you have tournaments that you want to host and stuff like that, like, man, like we're gonna support you guys. Like, if you know, we'll be here. Like, you know, come June, July, y'all have tournaments. I mean, obviously we can't be at everything at every time, but you know, we'll throw that out to our team. We'll encourage them to come up here. I mean, and try to do some things different. You know, I know in the fall we're looking at doing some stuff different. And what I mean by that is we're actually looking to interact with the leagues. So you would stay in your own league, but your league would participate in like a national event. So your league would be its own league, our league, and all these leagues would basically come together. And then, you know, like I had a guy from Houston that was like, man, if we do that, you know, like I literally, like he says he can get Houston Texas Stadium to play our championship in. You know, I mean, I know Dallas is another one that we can get, you know, and things like that. So, you know, when you're talking about a big time atmosphere, you know, and another thing too, so like with our fees, we charge $25 per player. That's charged to the players, not charged to the organization. You guys charge whatever you want to charge. Or if you guys charge anything at all, that's up to you guys. You know, that's what we charge. We come in, we make the badges. that qualifies for all the tournaments, all that stuff. And the thing is, like, as well, is, I'm trying to think what I'm saying here. So out of the $25, $5 from every single kid goes into that age group. So if you win your age bracket, you're going to get a check for every kid, $5 from every kid in that age bracket that goes to your organization to help build your organization. So, you know, you have to win nationals to get that, but that doesn't mean you can't talk to the guy from Georgia and say, hey, look, we're both here, let's just have that money, and then, you know, that way we both get something, and, you know.
National championships. Oh yeah.
You know, but I mean, that's, you know, that's something that will build the organization. I mean, you know, and the thing about us is that we get to a point where that was more money than we expected it to be, because we're just trying to cover our costs. I mean, we're going to go on Facebook Live, we're going to give away helmets, we're going to, you know, to organizations, things like that. I mean, you know, our biggest thing is to give back, to make it something that you guys can be proud of, something that, you know, that's a little bit more expected for you guys as well. You know, at the same time, like, I don't want to just sound like I'm blowing smoke either. You know, I mean, these are things that we do. You know, it's just what we do. You know, so I mean, really, what we need right now is we need more involvement. You know, we need somebody that's going to step up and get these other teams, you know, pulled in, you know, for the spring, so it makes it your life easier. Now, my thing is, like, honestly, like, I don't, if you're the only team we have out of here, I'm good with that, as long as y'all willing to come to us. And I know, you know, what, you guys have an 11U?
Yep.
Yeah, I know Mike's definitely got an 11U, so that's all he's got. So, yeah. Bad Boys are, you know, they have all the way up. So I mean, that's definitely some people you guys could play to fill that gap. So
If they can play.
they acts like they can. I mean, but maybe not. You guys only independent up here?
There's a couple independents.
I'm gonna be independent. So.
Yeah.
There's a couple independents. It's just everybody just.
Who's the Seminoles?
The Seminoles are in North County.
Yeah.
Is that
Cowboys are in North County also. They out there by us, but
Oh, JFL.
yeah, they in
Gateway.
Nah, they JFL.
They
They went to JFL.
They supposed to be going to JFL, but dude said, when I talked to dude, he was like, it's a process. He's like, it ain't for sure if it's everything gonna be.
So do you guys play within the league in the fall, or do you just kind of?
We did last year, but we wasn't happy with it, and it was a lot of little underhand stuff that went on,
Right.
and
Well, and that's the thing too, man. I mean, if you guys need a home for the fall, we're here. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, the Tulsa All-Stars are gonna stay with us, you know, for sure. You know, Milan Darby with the Impact and stuff, they got real good programs over there. You guys know much about them, but they're around a legit system, you know. And he's a cool dude, man. I mean, he is. I mean, he's about his kids. He's about doing things the right way, and you know, so we're going to interact with their league a lot. He's pretty loyal to things that he gets into, and he don't want to leave his league completely. So he's reached out to his guy, and so we're going to do some stuff, you know. But also, man, if we can just get it built up, you know, we can start looking at a true All-American game too. You know, where we're not having parents vote those in. You know, that's what happens in these diamond All-American and stuff. You just got some mom that sees some flyer that throw it in there, and then some kid that maybe should or shouldn't be there.
Pay for the kid to be there.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's what you run
You
into
can pay
a
for
lot
your
of
kid to
times.
go. You stay.
Well, and the kid that deserves to be there sitting at home because he didn't have, you know, $1,500 to make the trip. You know, and that's not right.
It's like first
you know?
pay makes the list.
Yeah.
That's how y'all go. First ones to pay is make the squad.
Well, and that's like with us. I mean, we want to get to the point eventually where, you know, we can purchase land and we can put fields on it, and we can put like, you know, basically sleeping quarters for the coaches and stuff, so you could literally come down, get in the tournament or whatever, and you could actually stay on site, or you get up with your team and you know, everything, you know, try to put like 3 or 4 fields on something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Build it, I will come.
Man, the good thing about something like that is you don't have to be in the middle of St. Louis or the middle of Arkansas. I mean, you kind of be out, you know, because it's a camp. You want to be out, you know, you want to get away from everybody. So, you know, then you start talking about getting land a lot cheaper and things like that. So it's actually can be a reality. So, you know, then.
I was was gonna say, really, it's just beneficial for y'all if we can get more teams up here, because that's less travel. So if y'all know anybody up here that would want to do spring that might not be, then that, you know, that'll give you that much more league play up here. And, you know, we can come up here and y'all can come down there, but I doubt you're gonna want to come, you know, 6 hours,
You come
2 or
down.
3 times.
He said we come.
You're
I
welcome
mean, but
to,
it's,
we'll have
it's
y'all.
up to
You
y'all,
wanna
man.
come,
Y'all,
but-
we can smack Ray around, but I mean, y'all already know how that goes. Smacking these easy tails around. We want.
I'd rather play. What you talking about? Get some work. If we get some work in St. Louis, I can get some work here, and we can go out of town and get work.
That's what I'm saying. I want to do that regardless. We're gonna do that regardless.
Right. Well, that's us too. I mean, like, you know, our 12U team is gonna be.
I don't want nobody to feel like we,
stacked,
you know, ducking them to go out of town to catch rat.
Yeah.
Who good?
Nobody.
Everybody just talking.
Yeah, I
Nobody
agree.
wanna play.
No,
You
I
know
mean,
me.
yeah, I mean, right-
I
well, I
would've
mean,
been
like
practicing.
Daryl, he came here, Daryl came up here earlier, he thought it was a
Who was he with?
At your game, nigga. Like,
They're gonna start their own thing. I've got, I was telling her I was gonna try to help him get some helmets and stuff, so, you know, I mean.
Well, and that's the other thing that I was gonna ask you, because I know you said some of them can't get helmets and stuff because they're with the Parks and Rec or whatever. But is it a situation where if we can help them get some equipment up here,